Good morning, friends. It's Sunday, August 20th, 2023, and I thought I'd do a little update on the late summer garden. You can tell we're getting into fall. The maples are starting to turn a little brown. This is a beautiful sugar maple. This tree gets bright red in the fall, and we're starting to see a little bit of browning in the gardens. The daylilies, the leaves are turning a little brown. These daylilies here are still blooming. So let's take a little tour. I put plant impatiens here every year by the doorway because it's a real shady spot. And they always seem to do beautifully. This year I just did red and white. And they're just looking so great. I put a little oregano in that little pot there so I can come out and pick some of that. I have a lot of oregano growing wild in the garden. We're just going to take a walk to the little shade garden. Yesterday when I was weeding around my astilbe in the shrub border, oh, there goes the air conditioner, I was able to get 2 babies off of it, and I planted them in this little shade garden. So we have this baby here. She's doing well. And we have one baby here. And we'll come out of here so we don't have to listen to the air conditioner. The rock garden is changing. I have garlic chives growing in here. And some of them are starting to bloom. There's a lot of buds. And here's the little bloom. So I come out here and cut these garlic chives. They're so good and convenient to have right here. This sedum already bloomed with pink flowers. I have sedum growing all the way down here as well. Just keeps cascading down the rock garden. Snow in the summer, foliage is still nice and silvery green. This sedum, or sedum, is a succulent, and that's going to be blooming soon. It blooms with pink flowers. It's a beautiful variegated sedum, and its little neighbor, the hens and chicks, are right there. I was really excited as I was weeding in here one day. I saw a little splash of pink color, and I went over to investigate. And it's a volunteer petunia. I saw one little flower. And I fed it, and now I have several flowers. And this little guy, the seed must have been dropped by a bird. It's gorgeous. So she appreciated her watering and her little bit of food. Everything is really doing very well because we had so much rain. This is also a ground cover here with yellow flowers. I don't know the name of it. I had snitched a piece from from a nursery. They had a big pot of it, and I just kind of pinched off the tip and I propagated it, and now it's all over the garden. I just keep propagating it. And we're just going to move along a little bit. This side garden is all green mostly. We'll go down and look at the zinnias, but I wanted to show you, last year I had divided some daylilies because I have so many daylilies in clumps. And I started planting them in this hill here, on the side hill. And they all bloomed. And these 2 are still blooming. See if I can get that in. Those are the, they have oh, they're so pretty. They have a pink outline. And they're babies. And that baby bloomed as well. Let's see if we can get closer so you can see the color. I have them in my regular gardens, my bigger gardens, but oh, these are so pretty. But these are the babies that I propagated. I got to climb the hill here. Look at that. I think next year I'm going to extend along the daylilies here flowers to plant more zinnias. They just did so well. The hummingbirds and the butterflies and the bees just love them, and they're so pretty. So I think I'm going to look at these colors. Look at this one. Oh my goodness. And there's Japanese beetles in here, and oh, I'm going to squeeze those out. We don't want those. Yeah, so I think next spring I'm going to clean up this little bed here and plant zinnias all the way down. Let's go look at the petunias. The petunias have done beautifully filling in this whole area. I plant them in a container. I have one pot there, and then I have another pot over there. Those pink, it's called bubblegum pink. And look at how my marigolds are doing. Huge. I learned a little bit of something about this. These very big, the tall marigolds really get strangled in these pots. These pots aren't big enough, so next year I think I'm going to plant a smaller variety because I had to keep putting potting soil on top. There's just having mats of roots. Looks like a forest. And look at this one. I just kind of planted them. I didn't really pay attention. Oh, I don't want that in there. And they're doing well, even being kind of pot bound. And there's a butterfly. Ooh. Hi, pretty. You're so pretty. Yep, I plant for the beautiful color and nature, and also for all the pollinators. Whoop. And there's all those petunias in there. Those are all coming out of one pot. The brand again I mentioned is Bubblegum. Oh, here she is back again. I can sit here for hours and just watch the birds and the butterflies. Here's more of the marigolds. And there's the petunias in there with all the marigolds. Just beautiful. The sea holly is all done. The gloriosa daisies. Oh, there's that bee that looks like a hummingbird. See if I can get it on the bee balm. The bee balm in the back is all done, just about blooming. I had massive bees there, and it does spread. So if you ever decide to get bee balm and you want to attract pollinators and you have an area where you can allow it to spread, I would highly recommend it. My phlox is starting to bloom, and it's just, look, this little section of the garden looks so pretty. The black-eyed Susans are still in bloom. And I have a volunteer hyssop here. And look at that purple. That came from way over the other side. Yeah, the phlox is beautiful in here. I love these petunias. I have to do a little weeding. Over the years, I've planted lots and lots of different colored phlox. And unfortunately, the deer love the flower heads in the spring, so I have to really get out and start to spray because I lost a lot of flowers. But look at the flower head on this one. And they're growing up in here. When I was a little girl, my aunt used to grow these phlox, and we used to pick off the flower and suck the nectar out of the stem of the flower, and it's sweet in there. I just remember that. That's why I planted them. I had such good memories of my aunt's garden when I was little. We grew up in the city in Boston, Chelsea actually, and we lived in a two-story home. We lived downstairs and my aunt lived upstairs, and they owned the home, and she was the first one that showed me a Festiva Maximum peony when I was probably 8 years old, and I never forgot them, so that's why I have so many of those in my garden. I guess she was my first gardening mentor. Here's the middle garden where I planted a lot of phlox. Some of them haven't bloomed yet, but I have several colors over the years, buying a different color and putting it in, and then they spread. This one's a kind of a violet, real pretty. And this one up here is a pink. I love that one. And then there's white in here. So the daylilies are all done, and now the phlox bloom. And the Gloriosa daisies are still hanging in there. My clematis is all done blooming, and I'm going to be pruning that. It was beautiful while it lasted. And look at these Gloriosa daisies. These are kind of a mahogany color. And the phlox. I hear the two hummingbirds chirping together. And here's another deeper purple. And we're walking around the side here. And look at this pink one with a little speckle of a darker pink on the inside. And there's one in here that I just absolutely love. I'm going to shut this off and come back when I get into the bed. This is an orangey type. And I thought I had lost this one, but it just survived, and it came up, a little sprig of it just survived there and just started. So this is more of a salmon color. And we'll take a little walk up this little path in this garden. The peonies, let's see, it starts down here. The peony bed starts there, and they're all done, and I've started deadheading them and weeding out the bed. And the peony bed goes all the way to there. So let's walk up the path. I cleared it somewhat so that I could get through. And the foxglove I deadheaded, actually I cut the stalks off, and I put a lot of the seed stalks into the open area over on the other side of the driveway where we had the tornado. I'm trying to get wildflowers all growing in there. And so far they're doing okay. It's a beautiful sunny morning, 76 degrees, minimal humidity, and a nice cool breeze. This is the area where I'm trying to fill in. When all the trees got knocked down and we had it all cleared out from the tornado, a lot of the scrubby stuff and the weeds take over, but the birds keep bringing seeds over here. So this is bee balm that grew as a volunteer, and as there's more here, and there's black-eyed Susans in here, Queen Anne's lace, and several foxglove bloomed, and here's their seed heads. And I just want them to reseed all in here. They'll reseed. Get them all going. Yesterday I weed whacked all along the side here. The driveway is 500 feet long. And we can't see the road from here. So this was all weeds and blackberry, wild blackberry bushes. So I opened it up and the birds appreciate that. And we'll just walk to the corner here, the edge of this little hill. And turn around. Yeah. So the driveway goes all the way down there. And the road is way down there. So I weed whacked down to that point. I probably could have done more, but some of these things are heavier than what my weed whacker can do. And I just want to show you a little area of a hydrangea that I planted many years ago. This area in here, we just let the ferns grow wild. Another big boulder. And I have to dig up these hosta. These are stunted because, as you can see, the stalks and there's no leaves, the deer ate them all. So I'm going to take them out of this area here. They ate them all here. And even that one in there. This is such a shady woodland area. It's a perfect place for them, but the deer don't eat anything else but the hosta. I love the atmosphere in here. These bushes I planted, there was no shrubs here at all when we first moved here. Oh, I gotta go under the bushes. And this is a viburnum that I planted. And it has berries, red berries in the fall. And it looks like the birds are getting at it already. But it gives them kind of a winter harvest of berries. And this is where I planted a hydrangea many years ago. And here she is. I thought I was digging her up last year because she was only flowered twice in 10 years and just not enough sun. So when we had some trees cut down, more sun came in, and then it did bloom last year. But I wanted to dig her up and put her in a different spot, but I guess it has a taproot. So I came in to check, even though I did get a big piece of it. I came to check, and it looks like her taproot just survived, and now she's coming back. So we'll leave her in here. She's getting a little more sun now that the trees are gone. And these are a stilby, these little feathery plant. They put out big stalks of feathery pink plumes. And I was weeding in here, and they're tubers pretty much. So I broke off accidentally 2 tubers and planted them like I showed you in the beginning in the shade garden. So hopefully those will take it. With a little more sun coming in here, I think I'll feed them a little bit next spring. I'll get better plumes here, but it likes shade. And this is a massive Leucothea bush that I transplanted from another property that I had, and in the spring it has beautiful white bell flowers, and then they go to seed, and this is them at seed. But the whole plant is just loaded with these drooping cascade of white flowers, little bells, very pretty. And I have a little azalea in here. Where is she? There she is. Purple. And the Pachysandra is a ground cover, and that is taking over a lot, which is what I really wanted. And this Pachysandra is originally from Long Island, from my mother-in-law. Look at the new growth on the Leucothea. It's pink, and it contrasts with the green. It's so pretty. Just so. And in here, I have what's the name of that one? A Japanese Andromeda. This is this one. And this one also has white flowers, and the new growth is pink. I don't know if you can see it right there. I have to come in and prune here. The catbirds nest in here every year in these shrubs. Here's another burning bush. Here's more Leucothea. And that's where they make their nests, in that, all in there. In here is Carolina allspice, and this is my Korean spice bush. And the other day I was so happy. I saw a family of bluebirds, probably 4 juveniles, and they were all splashing around in here in this bird bath. And I think Mama and Daddy were up on the telephone wires, and I think they were showing them how to bathe. So they would come down and watch, and then they'd fly back up on the wire, and the 4 little juvies would just sit and splash and splash. And there was one that just didn't want to come out of the water, and I saw them again yesterday swimming, taking a swim, and I was delighted because I know that they're nesting around here, even though I can't have the boxes because of the bears, but they have found some place to nest, and I'm just tickled about it. So that's about it for today. We've got the tree that fell, the beautiful oak tree, all cleared away. So this whole area is all open now in the sunshine. Yeah, the man came and got his wood, and I was happy that it went to a good use. But we missed the oak tree, but we have a spruce right there that the birds have now where they're roosting, so I'm happy to see that. Just an update on the veggies. The spring onions are doing great. I haven't harvested them yet. They're not big enough. I've gotten probably almost 3-gallon bags full of wax beans and the burgundy beans. I've already harvested about 3 peppers. The bugs got a couple as well, even though I used an organic spray. The sage is huge. Rosemary's doing well. I've been picking and cutting rosemary. I've got my little fountain set up. The wrens love it. I sit inside down here in this sun porch area and watch the birds on the fountain and out in the garden. Here's burgundy beans, lemon verbena bush. Now it's like a little bush. I had videotaped it from when I first planted it, and I can probably start harvesting that. And here's the anise hyssop. And let's go look at the hydrangea that my daughter gave me for Mother's Day. It is beautiful. So she's done real well. I thought it was too sunny here, but apparently not. And here's the flowers. Okay, folks and friends, thanks for taking a walk with me this morning in my gardens. It's a beautiful morning. Wishing you all a lovely Sunday. Enjoy the weather, and let's pray for the people in California with Hurricane Hillary coming in, and also for the people in Maui who lost loved ones and all their homes and belongings. Bye for now.